Are you planning to do an Erasmus exchange in Germany? You are in the right place. Today I will tell you everything you need to know to survive your Erasmus in Germany. From how to find accommodation to how to order a beer and enjoy this amazing culture. Guten Tag, ich heiße Carolina und this is your Erasmus guide how to survive your mobility in Germany. We are off to a strong start with your studies. It is important to know that German universities might be a little bit different from the ones in your country. Mainly, you should know that in Germany there are two different types of public universities. On the one hand, you have universities, Universität, and on the other hand, you have Fachhochschule. The first one are usually larger, with more students and variety of majors and subjects. Don't be surprised if you spend most of your time with other students in large auditoriums or on writing exams and essays. Fachhochschulen, on the other hand, are smaller. They usually admit fewer students, which results in smaller classes size. Here you will do a large part of your exams orally, by presentations or teamwork. Don't get the impression that one is better than the other. The degrees are worth the same. The only difference is that Fachhochschule also admit people who have obtained their access to the university in another way than bachelor, and you cannot get your PhD degree here. Another thing to keep in mind is that the grading system may differ from your home country. In Germany, grades range from 1 to 4. That's for passing. You cannot pass an exam with a 5. But don't worry, you have time to adjust. Now let's talk what makes Germany so special. Its rich culture. Germany has a lot of festivities and curiosities that will surprise you during your stay. In general, many German festivals and holidays have a Christian or political origin. Carnival, from the 11th of November to Ash Wednesday. The real festivities with parades, drinking, food, and other entertainment take place during these 2 weeks before the Ash Wednesday. People participate in parades in many cities, especially on Mondays, where candy and small gifts are thrown from carts. Participants also use the design of the carts to draw attention to current issues. For example, politics, climate change, and others, whatever. The capital of the carnival is Cologne. Tag der Arbeit, the 1st of May, the Labor Day. It comes out of a strike of American workers in the 19th century. Since the early 30s, it has been national holiday in Germany. Traditionally, there are numerous demonstrations on this day throughout the country. Tag der Deutschen Einheit, the 3rd of October. This day celebrates the official reunification of eastern and west part of Germany. Beware, it's not the day of the fall of Berlin Wall. Oktoberfest. It's not a public holiday, but nevertheless is probably the best known German holiday. It has its origin in the royal wedding in Bavaria in the 19th century. Today it's known better for beer, food and traditional German clothing, Dirndl and Lederhosen. The originals still take place in Munich, however you can find an Oktoberfest anywhere in Germany. Weihnachtsmarkt, from approximately mid-November to Christmas. Less of a party and more of traditions. In the weeks before Christmas, there are markets with stalls selling handcrafts, typical food and drinks, mainly mulled wine. There are also organizations which collect money for people in need. The atmosphere is made perfect by Christmas songs from choir or live musicians. Most cities have their own Christmas markets, and if not, the next one is never far away. While we're on the subject of customs, I'm going to give you some tips to help you integrate into the German culture. 2 of the most popular stereotypes of Germans are that they are very punctual and they love structure and organization. Contrary to many other stereotypes, these ones are true. Punctuality is very important in Germany, especially in the school and work world. For classes or meeting with teachers, you are advised to arrive from 5 to 10 minutes. For appointment with friends, it is enough to arrive just on time. On the other hand, if you're invited to a party like birthday and you arrive on time, you will be the very first person to be there. Give them 15 to 30 minutes to finish preparations. There's one exception to German punctuality: trains. That's due to many failures of old tracks, of which they have a lot, and works to modernize them. So if you plan to use trains, especially mid-distance, watch the public transport app frequently. And make sure you have some more time to compensate for delay. In German, they call that time Puffer. Another thing you should know is that order prevails in any aspect of German life, especially the traffic. They like following the law. Some things you should not do there is, for example, crossing the street with red light, cycling on the left side of the street, walking in the bike lane, and so on. Speaking of Germany, we also have to talk about drinks and food. What do you think we'll tell you about first? Surprise? Not really. Beer. In Germany, the beer offers more than 700 different types of beer from more than 1,500 breweries. Many cities have their own beer that is sold exclusively there. Also, especially the smaller rural towns usually have an established beer that is sold in most of the bars in the city. As you can imagine, in Germany there are a lot of rivalry around the subject of beer. Another curiosity related to currywurst is that it was invented in 1949 in Berlin, although this is not very clear, since Hamburg also claimed its invention. And most important of all, it has also its own museum, Deutsches Currywurst Museum. Another curiosity you should know while living in Germany is Pfand. This is a deposit system for many beverage containers. When you buy a returnable or a disposable bottle, can or container, you pay an additional deposit. Depending on the type of bottle, you will pay between 8 and 25 cents. If you return the bottle or can, for example in the supermarket at a return machine, you get your deposit money back. This encourages recycling and protects the environment. The next aspect of Erasmus in Germany that you have to take into account is the accommodation. In almost all German cities, you will have several accommodation options. These are the most common ones. Public residence. In larger student cities, they are usually managed by the local Studierendenwerk. The Studierendenwerk is often responsible not only for accommodation, but also for other student services, such as cafeterias. In the public hall of residence, you will mainly find private rooms in shared apartments. Private residents. They are usually in better conditions than the public ones. They offer rooms in shared apartments or studios. And then you have studios as well, or a room in a private shared apartment. And this one is usually the most common. We already know that looking for accommodation is not the most fun part of Erasmus. And depending on the city you study in, finding accommodation in Germany is not easy. But you're lucky because we already have done most of the work for you. We have collected all the verified accommodation offers on Erasmus.com. Just go to the website, put your destination, and you will be able to compare all the available offers in one place. In addition, all accommodation is verified, so there are no scams and you can book with total security. The cost of living in Germany is usually high compared to many other European countries. However, the Erasmus program offers scholarships that can help you cover that part. To save a little extra money, you can take advantage of numerous discounts. Some that are aimed exclusively at students are ISIC, Uni Days, student beans, and others. In general, I recommend you always have your student card in your wallet, as there are many stores that offer student discounts but are not listed on the platform. It is also worth registering in the apps of supermarkets or store where you go frequently, so you can take advantage of the coupons that they often offer. If you want to meet new people and make some German friends, we advise you to speak the language. So here are some basic phrases for you. Hi, how are you? Hallo, wie geht's dir? Or just, wie geht's? My name is, ich heiße, I am an Erasmus student. Ich bin Erasmus Student or Studentin. I don't speak German. Ich spreche kein Deutsch. Sorry, Entschuldigung. Bye is just Tschüss, auf Wiedersehen, or more colloquial, ciao, bis dann. Finally, my last piece of advice. Don't be afraid to throw yourself into a new culture and make the most of it. Erasmus is not only an academic opportunity, but also once-in-a-lifetime experience. Although you can go twice on Erasmus or even more, but you know what I mean. Enjoy the food, explore, make friends, and live like a real German student for a while. Remember that you can check our other guides on our YouTube channel and learn more about a specific destination. Subscribe to our channel, hit the notification bell, and in the description box you can find our other social media. Bye, see you soon. Assistant?